So, we got a big day today. Because we are headed on a long cross country up to Culpeper, Virginia, ultimately, with a stop at West Virginia Tech in Christiansburg, Virginia. So I haven't 100% decided whether I'm going to make that stop at West Virginia Tech yet, but I'm going to figure it out here shortly. Morristown traffic, Cessna 18 Golf is taxiing for 5, Morristown. It's a little chilly this morning. It's about 25, and it's about a 345-mile trip each direction. So, be a great day to work on, see how the Autopilot does on a big long day. I've got fuel in both auxiliary tanks, so I am about capped out on gas right now. So I can fly for about 8 hours, eight and a half hours right now. That's a pretty big deal. Oil pressure, oil temp. Okay, so we have ran that. We have ran all that. Fuel is on. Transponder is on altitude. Flaps are set. Carb heat is off. I'll push that in right when we're ready. Exterior lights are on. Windows and doors are locked. Timer. Work plan is ready. So if we aren't off the runway by the midway point, we're going to abort it. If the engine quits right after, we're going to land straight ahead. We also have the Highway 33 to land on if need be. Morristown traffic, Cessna 18 Golf is taking off runway 5 straight out, Morristown. And here we go. So, yeah, we're a little heavy today with the amount of fuel we're carrying. Got a lot of birds on the runway this morning, but we're off. Sun's already brutal. Whew. All right, so we're underway, 345 miles. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and insert the Autopilot so I can get other stuff done. So, I'm going to come in here to setup and hit my indicated airspeed. Lock that together and hit the nav. So now I don't have to worry about tracking my course. Tri-Cities approach, Cessna 6618 Golf.
Cessna 6618 Golf, Tri-City approach, Tri-City altimeter 3012, say altitude and request.
Cessna 6618 Golf, we're 150, currently at 5,500 near Chimney Top. Like to transition on this present heading 070 at 5,500.
Cessna 18 Golf, squawk 0413.
0413 for 18 Golf.
No 18 Golf, your radar contact 2-3 miles west of Tri-Cities Airport. Maintain V4.
Copy that for Cessna 1 Golf, thanks. Alright. So we just got a clearance through the Tersa. And, yeah, not much to talk about. 303 miles to a final. We got 137 miles to the stop that we talked about making, so still ain't sure if I'm going to do that or not. And there is the Tri-Cities Airport. So we're going through the Class Delta right now. And I'm using a heading steer instead of the nav steer because ATC wants to move me around occasionally. So yeah, 288 miles to go. Still don't know if I'm going to stop or not. Definitely pushing it. I would need to be there in about an hour, a little more. I'm at 122, so technically I probably could. I just don't know yet. So, what a beautiful morning to be out and about. It's just gorgeous. Just absolutely gorgeous today. Got my jug full of water. Got another one, just in case. And I got a lot of stuff I'm carrying today. Just for the work.
693, roger, Sunday tower at 119.5.
That I gotta do, so tune in a bit. So just entered into Virginia. 274 miles to go yet. Probably get handed off, release from Tri-Cities here probably in a few minutes. That kind of sucky thing. I've had the first thing with the Autopilot happen, and it's really simple, but the little coupling magnet in here has come apart, so I can't keep it coupled together. So I'm going to have to re-epoxy that magnet back in there, but for the time being, I'm back to hand flying, which really stinks. So that's about the only thing now in a year I've had happen is that magnet come off. So, yeah, I obviously don't have anything here in the plane to deal with it, so. We got 243 miles. I am going to be stopping up at that airport, and just going to be playing it by ear, but yeah, we're going to go ahead and make a stop there, and it's about 77 miles to Virginia Tech, and we're going to stop there and see my coworker. Might go to the pre-bid with him. I'm just going to play it by ear.
All right, so what happened next is obviously something that most of us never have had happen. I have had it happen to me in the past, back in 2009 and 2010, but it's been, 15 years now that I haven't had any kind of an engine hiccup. But I was flying along, and I did not have the cameras recording. I wish I did, because it would be nice right now to be able to review some of the things that happened and to see if my memory is serving me correctly about this or that. But unfortunately, I do not have cameras rolling, but I'm going to come back to that. But I was flying along, and of course, with the light speeds on, it has a noise canceling in them. And I used to think I wouldn't be able to detect certain engine changes because of that. But what I kind of found was that listening to that low hum of the engine, and all of a sudden it's like, and I looked over at the RPM gauge, and it was at between 2,500 and 2,550, just going like this. And I thought, for a moment that, well, maybe it's just the tachometer cable sticking a little bit, making the needle float up and down. But I kept monitoring it. Everything else looked fine. I do have a carb temp gauge in there, and I was applying enough heat to keep it well out of the orange there. But I was going along, and I was cruising at 5,500 feet, and it was doing that for a couple of minutes, and I looked. Right in front of me was the Mountain Air Airport, probably 2-3 miles away. So, and I was going to be overflying that directly. And I went over the top of that, and that kind of went away for a couple of minutes, and I just didn't think too much more about it. Then it came back again and started doing that, and I was sat there and I was looking at the RPM, and all of a sudden, like 150, 200 RPM, just real steady, and then back up. Immediately, my instinct was I was immediately banked back toward the airport. And as I turned back to the airport, it dropped again, 150, 200 RPM, and then bounced back up. Very smooth, not rough, not coughing, nothing like that. Just like you pulled the power back and then pushed it back in. And so I tried a couple of things. I tried enriching the mixture. Was still doing that, still kind of cycling that a little bit. I tried leaning it, full carb heat, no carb heat, different mags, didn't seem to matter. So I quickly was ruling out, I don't believe it's an ignition problem. I did not believe it had any carb icing that was going on. Of course, I had plenty of fuel, but it did kind of strike me like almost like a fuel starvation a little bit. But in any case, I started to pull power to come in, and it dropped down, and then just came back up, and the rest of the descent went smooth. Yeah, that was it in a nutshell. And I finally remembered to turn the cameras on right when I got on final.
Now, what would have caused that kind of engine power loss? Empire Cessna 1 Golf cleared active. Yeah, so we had a bit of a problem. I need to stop, check it out here, because I'm not sure what it was, but I definitely had power loss.
So I got down safely on the ground, got it shut down, decided to get out of the airplane and have a good look at everything. Got out, popped the cowl, could not, no oil leaks. I pulled the propeller over. I had good compression on all 4 cylinders. Checked the oil, checked up the carburetor throat with the heat plate, verified that the mixtures and throttle and all the connections were secure, and I didn't have anything like that going on. Everything looked perfectly fine underneath the cowl there on that engine. So after looking everything over, put everything back together and thought, well, I'll do another run-up. I did a bunch of run-ups, and then decided, well, you know what, I don't know. It could be like one of them fluky things where maybe you had a little bit of water pass through the fuel or whatever. And I checked the fuel strainers. I checked I sumped all the tanks. Nothing stood out. So decided, well, I'm going to take off and climb up over the airport, see if I can recreate it. So that's what I did. So I took off, immediately climbed out over the interstate that was right next to the airport, just in case something happened, until I got enough altitude to turn back toward the airport. Once I did that, I circled the airport quite a few times, as you'll see here on this, but circled it around, got up to altitude that I was cruising at, tried everything, tried the mixture all the way to where it was leaning out and starting to die back in, tried the carb heat in different settings, ran on one magneto for a minute, then ran on the other magneto for a minute, couple different throttle settings, tried to recreate it, never could, never did anything. So then I had no excuse to not fly it at that point, other than whatever that was, but was also warring with myself on what to do now at this point.
10 o'clock, 3 miles, southwest bound, altitude case 3,200, possibly a red RV.
Cessna 1 Golf, we're looking for that traffic. Got him. For 1 Golf. Okay, so just an update. I am turning home.
After survey work?
I never could figure out what the problem was, but it was severe enough to get me uneasy to proceed getting further and further away from home.
November Yankee Roger.
So what I've decided I'm going to do
5 miles east
is
Virginia Highlands, Cessna, 4,600 southwest bound, radar service terminated, and squawk VFR, change advisory frequency approved.
Radar service terminated, squawk
now,
VFR,
hold on.
Yankee, thanks for the help.
So the power loss was severe enough that it just made you uneasy. So what I've made a decision is we're approaching that halfway point in an overhaul that I think I'm going to do some major stuff. We're going to get the carb redone. We're going to get the mags redone, new spark plugs and wires. Just take care of some of that stuff that really probably needs to be looked at. Well, I've had enough flight hours and there's been enough years that it's probably due. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do that. Get all that stuff sent in, get it all inspected, checked out. Just make everything fresh again. So yeah, we're going to do that. New fuel line to the carb. Just do a couple of those items, and that will verify that we're good to go. So hopefully, Lord willing, we're going to get home.
200, maintain 4,000 until established on the localizer.
And who knows, it could have been something really strange, a little piece of junk that went through the carb, whatever, I don't know. But it was enough and sustained long enough that it was like it was something. And that makes me uneasy, so. Alright, so we are 40 miles out from Morristown now. We've had no issues. Been running fine, of course. You know, it's just one of those...
44 Golf, Tri-State departure, radar contact, stay altitude.
One of those situations where, you know, you wonder if you made the right choice or not.
44 Golf, Roger, doing navigation, practice area 1.
If it gets home safely, that's what counts. And I think it's wise, especially with more flying that I want to be doing, to
78 Echo, contact plane
to get some of this stuff done. So, anyway, that's a good thing though, is I've been, every week with every paycheck I put a little bit aside, so I got enough money to do it. It's just the doing it. And we've got a trip here in about a month to do, so I don't know if I could get it done in that time frame or not, but we're going to try. I'll probably just go ahead and get stuff ordered on its way and work on putting it all together. And we're just going to get the ignition system and the fuel delivery metering all evened out and go from there. So, well, looks like we're going to make the runway here at Morristown. So, Baruch Hashem. Praise the Lord on that one. But yeah, still don't know what it was. I'm starting to suspect I had a very strange case of extended carb ice. That's really the only thing I could draw a straw at, or it was something fluky. Piece of junk in that went through the carburetor or something. I don't know. Morristown traffic, Cessna 18 Golf is based in final for 23, be a full stop, Morristown.
500.
Verify we got the runway made. Wow. That is some funky wind. All right, well, like I said, I'm just really thankful we're down and clear. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll do some maintenance.
So after getting back down on the ground and everything was well and you're able to think clearly without having the stress of trying to get home, started thinking it all through, what I wanted to do. consulted with a couple of other mechanics and such of that nature, and decided that we were going to do like I talked about in the plane, except a few other things as well. So we pulled the magnetos off. We sent them out for their 500-hour inspection. Ordered a new carburetor to exchange for this one. Got new spark plugs, new spark plug wires, all the fuel line, and then also decided another big thing I wanted to do was go ahead and pop the valve covers off of all the cylinders and clean the exhaust valve guides out on everything. So I did check compressions when I got back, and although they were all good, I had one that was around that 74, 75, but had a little bit of air hissing by the exhaust valve into the exhaust, and I don't like that. So that prompted me to go ahead and, in case I had an intermittent sticking valve that may have stuck partially open and was losing some compression on a cylinder, I guess that's theoretically possible that I still had enough compression for it to fire, but to possibly lose power. But who knows? We're just going to go ahead and get that done as well. I did run some new P leads to the magnetos. I did find that those were in poor shape. So just going through everything, we'll just do a complete refresh. I'd say between all of that, whatever it was probably won't crop up again. At least let's hope so. So anyway, see you on the next one.